Oh, thank you, Matt. In light of Hamas recently murdering Israel's 6 those hostages and the pressure being put on Israel to give up control of the Philadelphia corridor, I wanted to ask you, why is Israel being expected to make concessions if that will only encourage Hamas to perpetuate further atrocities by rewarding them for bad behavior? And I have a follow-up.
So I obviously would very much reject the premise of that question. We are making clear to Israel that we think a deal is in their security interests, as you've heard me say in response to previous questions. We absolutely support bringing members of Hamas to justice. You saw the Justice Department, our own Justice Department, unseal indictments for the leaders of Hamas yesterday. We've made very clear that we want to see leaders of Hamas brought to justice. But we also believe that it is in Israel's security interest to reach a ceasefire that brings the hostages home, that brings them home safely and securely, and that furthers Israel's long-term security interests. And one of the things you heard the Secretary say recently is that every day that goes by without a ceasefire risks other events happening. One of those events, of course, is further escalation in the region, but one of the very real tragic events is the death, the murder of hostages, and we don't want to see that happen.
And additionally, what pressure has the U.S. applied to Qatar to get Hamas to release hostages?
So we have been in constant dialogue with Qatar since the hours after the October 7th attack about their communications with Hamas and their relationship with Hamas. And what we have seen over and again is Qatar using its relationship with Hamas to try to get to a ceasefire that would bring the hostages home, that would advance the broader security interests of the region. And we very much appreciate the work that Qatar has done in this respect, in the same way we appreciate the work that Egypt has done in this respect to try to get a ceasefire that would bring the hostages home.